Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of living in a place where there's lots of dirt roads or having a driveway like this. So this is part of our driveway. Our entrance is down there around the corner there. You can't really see what the entrance is, and then comes all the way up the hill here. And then right about there, you can see where the gravel's been starting to be laid down. The new gravel, because it was really muddy there. It was just a mess. And so we've had a couple loads delivered today. Most of the top side has been done. And they're going to come by today, drop one more load and put it down by the entrance. I would like to get this entire stretch done. After they dropped off two loads, I was hoping they would have done more. It was two loads of 17 yards each, and it's expensive. I mean, that's a definite con right there. That's a definite con, the price that it cost. You're either going to spend money on keeping up your driveway, or you're going to spend money on the equipment to keep up your driveway. Either way, you're going to spend money. But this was really bad, and so we had a dozer recently, just the last day or so, come through and smooth all this out, and it's a lot more drivable now. But when it rains, it's really muddy and cars can get stuck, especially up there where it starts to really bend towards up the hill. So what are the pros? Well, let's start with the cons. What are the cons? It takes money to upkeep, money to maintain. It's going to be something you're going to have to do. The county usually will not mess with your driveways. Our county, once a year, supposedly they will do your driveway, but getting them to actually do that is really a pain in the butt. They won't do it unless you really catch them, or you blow up their phones at the county office. They won't come out and do it for you. Normally what we have done every year is we go ahead, and when we see the grader on the road down here below, we stop the grader and give them $50, and they'll come up and do our driveway, a couple swipes on the driveway, and smooth it out, especially where the major ruts are. That's good for a while, and it usually do that once a year, and that's good enough, I think. But we really haven't had our driveway done in the last 6 years. We had it done really well when we moved here. We had a bunch of gravel laid down, and some red dirt put down to help out a lot, and that really did a great job. It lasted a long time, but we're getting to a point now where you got to do the whole thing over again. It just needs to be redone, put down some more gravel, and so that's kind of what we're doing right now. I don't know what it costs for where you're at. For us, it's about $3.50 for a load of gravel delivered out to where we are. We're so far out, it's just expensive. The gravel is actually pretty cheap. It's actually the driver and his time and the truck that you're paying for. And so, around $3.50, $3.75 per load is what we're looking at. And I would think we're gonna need maybe 5 loads. I don't know, 5 loads maybe. So that's a con. It's the money. It's just the upkeep. You're gonna have to do that. No one's gonna do it for you unless you get lucky and you find somebody who's willing to, maybe the county who can do it for you. Or maybe you have a neighbor close by who's got a tractor who can do it, or who's got a blade or something on their tractor, or a big box blade for a tractor they can hook up. My neighbor has a box blade. It's not exactly built for the hard work it's going to take for a driveway like ours, but that just is what it is. It's a con. It's also a con because, normal vehicles can't navigate, terrain like this. I tell people when they move out here, get a 4x4. Get a 4x4 truck. Chevy or Ford are good. Both are good. I mean, I know people are pro Chevy or pro Ford, but the reality is both the Chevy truck and the Ford truck, GMC trucks, they are built to they're built to a certain standards that they can handle better these types of roads. Also, Toyota trucks, Toyota SUVs are amazingly are built with the right tolerances to navigate, terrain like this. So anything Toyota SUV, like the Highlander or the 4Runner, or the Sequoia are good ones. The Toyota pickups are good too for that. But these Chevy SUVs, Ford SUVs, the Ford Explorer is a joke out here. The Chevy Equinox is a joke out here. They're just going to vibrate to pieces. They're not built with the right tolerances to handle this. SUVs, everyone, you watch these commercials for the SUVs and they run up and down these mountains on the commercials, and that's not reality. I mean, those things are built for hardball pavement, you know. That's because the majority of people use them for that, and that's what they build them for, those tolerances. But Ford trucks, Chevy trucks, Toyotas, they can handle the roads out here a lot better than other vehicles. So I tell people to get 4x4s, get a 4x4, and if you can, get some very aggressive all-terrains or mud tires. I have mud tires on this truck here. Tim's got all-terrains on his, and I've got all-terrains on the 4Runner that we have. But I'm probably going to put mud tires on that 4Runner. Anyway, so again, there's a con. You're spending money on, because 4x4 vehicles are more expensive than regular vehicles. So you have that added expense. So for the most part, the cons are monetary in regards to what you're going to be dealing with. So all of that said, let's look at the pros. The main pro that I see with having or living in an area with a lot of dirt roads, or having your own dirt driveway, is that it's population. Most people don't want to live in an area where their vehicles are going to get tore up. And so by living in an area with the roads that, like the ones that we have, you're going to be, the population is always going to be small. So you're not going to have to deal with lots and lots of people. You're not going to have to deal with people wanting to move out where you live and build up. Whereas when you have paved roads, everyone sees it as more accessible. They're more eager to move into those areas. By living in an area where the dirt roads, there's lots of dirt roads, lots of dirt driveways, things like that, and there's not a lot of county maintenance, you're just not going to have as many people. And for me, that's a pro. Okay, that's a benefit. I like the fact that we live in a place where there's just not a lot of people, and there's not a lot of people interested in moving out here. So to me, I like that. And let me just say this, because it comes up. The topic comes up. In a grid down collapse, into the world as we know it type scenario, people aren't going to be able to find their way out to you. And I think that's a pro. That's a benefit. Because I think a lot of times people worry about all of the population of the cities and stuff coming out to the rural areas in a grid down collapse and inundating those areas with refugees or whatever. They worry about that issue, and out here, they're just not going to be able to make it out here. Their vehicles won't make it out here very far, especially when the county's constantly fixing road washouts and all of this nonsense that they're constantly dealing with. It's one of the reasons my county is so poor, is because they're spending so much money on road maintenance. Because every spring, every fall, there's major rainstorms that wash out roads, damage roads even to a point where you can't use them anymore, or they really need a lot of effort to be used anymore at that point. So people don't like to live in those areas. And in a grid down collapse, people just won't make it out to where you're at. And so there's a little bit of security in that, maybe. It also can be a con, because if you need to get out for an emergency, you may be limited at what you can go, where you can go, and what you can do, because the roads deteriorate so quickly. So anyway, that's kind of the pros and cons of living on dirt. I like living out here with this dirt. I like the dirt roads, but again, it is upkeep. It does mean monetary resources need to go to making sure your driveway is accessible. And for us, every year we have Feast of Tabernacles event that we have on our homestead, and people are driving out here in their vehicles that are more geared towards the city, and we want to be able to have a good driveway so they can reach our location and get here in one piece. It seems like every year someone drives up with a minivan or some car or some, city vehicle, and they get a flat tire, and we have to help repair the flat tire and everything. And that's fine, but I don't mind doing that. That's okay. But it's because their 4-ply tires or 6-ply tires just aren't going to perform well in these conditions. And especially if you come out here with a 4-ply tire or a 6-ply tire that's worn down, has seen, the best days of that tire's life have already passed, then you come out with a bald tire, you're going to experience some flats and some issues. So I tell people, make sure you're always carrying a spare. There's always a spare in this truck. We have it underneath the truck. All of our vehicles carry spares. Every one of our vehicles carry the type of equipment that we can use to replace a tire or jump a car. There's cables for jumping it, if a battery goes out or something like that. Always carry certain equipment like that. And that's just something that's needed when you live in a place like this. You got to have those tools always ready to go. We always have a tow cable, or we always have a chain in each vehicle that we can use to pull ourselves out or pull someone else out, because these roads are very unforgiving. Now, hopefully, with all of this work we're doing to this driveway, it'll last another 6 years without a whole lot of other regular maintenance or extensive maintenance. I mean, every once in a while, we'll probably have to get it graded again when we can do that, but with the amount of work we're putting in on this driveway this year, hopefully for the next 5 years or so, we should be good and won't need any major, any more major work to it. Okay, I'm going to come down my road here and turn around and drive back up, and I'll show you where the gravel's been laid down. All right, so here we go up the hill. Let's give it a go. And of course, I'm in 4-wheel drive. But a 2-wheel drive vehicle should be able to make it up here no problem. Now that the road's been kind of worked over a little bit. So there's the homestead. So there you go, the pros and cons of living on dirt. All right, see you next time on the homestead. Hey there, thanks for watching our channel. If you're looking for great off-grid homesteading videos, this is the channel for you. Hit that subscribe button and be sure to like the video you just watched. You can also feel free to send us your questions by going to anamericanhomestead.com on our contact page and send me your question. Your question might get made into a video. In the meantime, check out some of these other great videos. Oh wait, go ahead and click them. Go ahead.